For the past few weeks on Bitcoin, I have been building a swing long trade. I had high confidence and conviction in my technical analysis that higher prices would be coming. You all know I entered into for me, a highly leveraged swing long, which was entered around that $108,000 zone. Well, today we're trading at $117,000. So I want to be coming into this video and explaining the trade management, the ongoing trades that I have opened. I opened new longs yesterday as well. So I am very exposed to the long sides on altcoins and on Bitcoin. And I want to be explaining, is this rally nearly over? We're coming into the major $118,000, $119,000 zone, which is a critical resistance of the range point of control. And so I'm going to be analyzing this for you and explaining, can we push through this and, essentially reclaim that as support for a very nice push to all-time highs? Or are we due first a pullback and a retracement? Well, that's what I'll be covering in this video. So I hope that you are looking forward to the analysis. And let's jump over to what you're here for, and that is the charts. So Bitcoin itself, I mean, we can all agree, I think, fair to say, it's been very, very, very healthy. Of course, I've been trading in the World Series of Trading, which has now ended. I ended with an overall account gain of 30%. This was just trading Bitcoin. I traded nothing else, so only Bitcoin. And the highest leveraged I used was ×7. And so I walked away with a 30% account gain, by the way, in just 2 weeks of trading. So 2 weeks of trading, 30% gain, only trading Bitcoin. All within my risk management. And, it just goes to show you that when you really put in the time and effort and you know what you're doing in this market, once again, we walk away with a great World Series of Trading result. And this is the same trade that I'm in right now. So this is what I was in then. I'm still in it now. So I've hit a few different take profits, as you can see, but nevertheless, the vast majority of the trades still open. And that is because I am looking for higher prices. And so I just want to do a very quick review, because I know my last YouTube video was a few weeks ago now. So just recapping this bit of price action for you, and then we'll move on to what we're looking at next and why I personally still am looking for higher prices, by the way. But yeah, very quick recap. Of course, this whole swing long trade, which increased the account by 30% in just 2 weeks. That is a crazy amount. All stemmed from the plan that I had. And when we come down to around here, I want to show you this, by the way, the long trade setup there. As you can see, $107,210. Right? I want you to just remember that. This was from a Champions live stream. $107,210 is where we were looking for this low for the long up towards all-time highs. We want to see where the absolute low was put in, by the way. If you take this, there is the low. $107,205. So how about that? 107,210 was what we were looking for, and we bottomed out at $107,205. So when you talk about predictions, how about this one, my friends? As we got that lovely move to the downside, we hit into our buy level, and look at that reversal. It's been nothing short of perfection. Okay, but each step of the way while we were down there, of course, I was remaining bullish, following my plan, and that was buying this dip. And then we've made our way up. We had $113.4 thousand, which was my key level while we were below it, of course. We went up through that level, no short trades, remaining in swing long trades. I'm also long on Solana. I'm long on lots of different altcoins, by the way, but Solana, one of those. It just goes to show how many times you had a great entry, you closed too early. No, I'm remaining patient on higher on Solana, on Ethereum, on Bitcoin, on Bonk, on Pepe, lots of different alts we got going on right now. But nevertheless, clean break above 113.4, no short trade at the moment. If we get a failed auction, which never happened, would have been open to it. But at this point in time, this was back on the 10th of September. Here we are 8 days later. But I'm just going to really quickly review through this. With a pullback, we've seen many pullbacks. I'm very confident we go high. Everyone will say, oh, you're going to... Yeah, I've always remained confident in my bias that higher prices would be coming. Then we moved up to 115,000. We flipped that into support. Again, supporting a move for higher. Again, you can pause the screen and read through all this just to show very clearly and honestly that everything that I've been talking about has been bullish, has been with this bullish bias for higher prices. Okay, so whether it's on Solana, Ethereum, and Bitcoin, people saying this was the top. Apparently, when I made this, I'm all in on Bitcoin and Ethereum post. What was this? 10 days ago now. Yeah, we are CC pool. We are chart champions. If you counter trade, you get wrecked. Listen carefully, and you can enjoy the profits. But yeah, really simply, wanted to just really quickly review that and just show you I have been absolutely following my bias, which is long and chill, as I have been since $108,000. So that brings us up to where we are now, as we are starting to approach New York Open, by the way. So with that said, what are we looking at next? First of all, I want to hide everything on this chart. We'll zoom out to the 4-hour. Okay, so into the 4-hour chart view, what is some really key basic things that we can look at? From high to low, we can look at our Fibonacci. We can see how we are right into the low of this CC Fibonacci. So I will always say this, I am bullish, I am long, I am looking for higher prices. Does that mean that here at $117.4 thousand, I'm going to open a long trade? I hope you already know the answer is absolutely not. Why would I not long at $117.4 thousand? Well, because I longed the lows at $108,000. I had a long yesterday as well. So this is trading over on Blowfin, so the new crypto exchange that we've partnered with. And I took a long here as well. So you can see this fill actually was at the very low of the wick candle yesterday. And again, we long the pullbacks, we long the retracements. Why would we long up here into resistance? It doesn't make sense when you can long the lows of the move, right? Hope that's clear. So although I'm looking for higher and bullish, doesn't mean I would open to a long into the resistance. What we're looking at on top of this CC Fibonacci is actually the big range point of control. So you can see this. I mean, I'll talk about confluence. This is coming in right there around $118,000. I want to just say this and emphasize it really. I would not say this has to be an exact dollar. I would not say, oh, we're looking at an exact dollar level here. Really want to emphasize this is a bit of a zone. And I absolutely think that we could get a breach through the level before coming back down. A few things to be aware of is slightly above it. Of course, we have the weekly and a weekly naked point of control, but that's more pushing towards 119. This for me is, I'm not going to lie and say this is going to be an easy short trade. Okay. It's one that I am absolutely open to shorting. I'm open to taking the short trade. What would I be looking for? Well, I'd be definitely coming over and looking at the order flow. Absolutely key. What's going on in here? We're going to be paying close attention to our trades and the time of these 10 million volume candles. What is happening on this order flow if and when we break above $118,000? Again, my bias is that we will break above 118K. I have full confidence that we will break above $118,000. Doesn't necessarily mean today, but over the next week, I am expecting that break above 118. Thus, I'm not really interested in any shorts prior to that. But if and when, again, I have to say if and when, because there's no guarantees in trading, although I do have high confidence and conviction in that it will happen. But when we get this break above $118,000, I will not instantly take a short. You will know me by now, I hope. I will come and look at the order flow. I will analyze. I will make an informed decision. Are we actually seeing a clean, strong break above $118,000? Well, then guess what? I'll be looking for that to push up towards $119,000. Or alternatively, do we just get a little bit of a fake out above that high? Maybe some trapped longs into the high, strong declines back into the high. Okay, so this would be current daily high. And then, again, this would be classed as an aggressive short trade. At this point, we would only have weakness in the order flow. Overall, I absolutely agree. When we zoom out, I really think this is a very strong market right now. Not just Bitcoin, very strong, but when you look at the stocks, I mean, they are just... I mean, this also was giving some pretty easy, to be honest, long trade yesterday. Look at that gap fill, instant rebound to the upside on the ES and NQ. I mean, yeah. But yeah, the stock market is very, 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 very strong, stronger than Bitcoin right now. So, but nevertheless, what I'm saying here is the overall markets are strong. That's very positive. We are also, expecting higher to come on Bitcoin, right? But again, emphasizing I would not long where we are right now. So that means I would long if we get another retrace. So where are some interesting levels where I would look to long a retrace? Okay, before I say that, I just want to do one very quick announcement for you all. And that is, as I mentioned earlier, of course, I'm always trading on Bybit, my favorite exchange. I love it. But we had to open our eyes to non-KYC options. A lot of people wanted a non-KYC globally available exchange, and that was Blowfin. And now I am going to be trading on Blowfin. I am going to be depositing more and actually become very accustomed to this exchange. It's very, very, very similar. This is Bybit. This is Blowfin. You can see extremely similar. So if you are already used to Bybit, it's going to be straight in on this. But yeah, I just want to do a very quick announcement that we're actually hosting a $100,000 prize pool trading competition in partnership with Blowfin. We already have done the $10,000 giveaway of Blowfin last week. So if you entered that giveaway and you were successful meeting the requirements, that money has already been sent out. So congratulations to those winners. And now we're doing a $100,000 trading competition. So you can come over here and enter the competition. Well, of course, sign up for a Blowfin account, enter the competition. And yeah, this is open to everybody, right? So if you're watching this video and you want to partake, there's no downside, and you could be in with the grabs of the prize pool here. So nice fun trading competition, Blowfin with chart champions. I'm pretty happy and excited about this one. Again, totally non-KYC, globally available. If you are watching this, you can take a look at Blowfin, right? Anyway, back to the chart. So again, I'm not saying that we're about to retrace. I am bullish. I am looking for higher. But if we are to get a retrace, where can we start to think of, okay, this is a really nice support level? I mean, the most obvious thing that I'm going to be looking at here is coming into around $113.5, $114,000. We have the uptrend anchored VWAP. We have 2 daily, weekly naked pointed controls. We have the range low. For me, this is what I would start to say, well, this is very important. This is very, very important. Right now, full strength, expecting higher. Okay, but let's say we do something like this. We breach up our new high and then we get the weakness and we start to get the pullback. At this point in time, I would, of course, be in a short trade. So it's always nice when I'm in a long from the lows and a short from the highs. Again, right now I am in the longs. I am in the longs on Blowfin. I am in the longs on Bybit. I am in no short trades. So if it just does this, well, I totally missed the short. So again, I am hoping, let's say, for another rise to the upside first of all, because then if we do this and I get my short trade, well, then I'm in this position where I have a long from the lows, a short from the highs. And then if and when we come back and we pull back to this level, I'll make another informed decision. Will I compound my long, or is there weakness and we look for a much bigger drop to the downside? This would be what I would class as a key level where I will be ready and waiting with alerts set. We cannot say what will happen here. Will we get the increases as open interest? Will we see that high negative delta coming in? Will we see the stock market simultaneously dropping? Right, this is going to equal big weakness, and we can absolutely lose $113,000 and get a much larger retracement. But my first thought would be, well, we'll come back down to that support level, and I am much more interested in the long here, and we can absolutely then look for that to get the continuation to the upside. So again, I am ready for a full drop. Hopefully I get my short first, but I am ready for a full reversal, but I'm also ready for a move back into support, continuation to the upside. And I just say this, my friends, like, if you want to make it in trading, right? You've seen me on YouTube here. I've done the multi-million-dollar trading accounts, right? You can go back through my older videos. Nowadays on public videos, never will I be trading high amounts, right? So if you want to see that, I'm just not going to be doing that anymore. But you can go back and look at my older videos where I was maybe silly enough to show those positions. Anyway, you know, from small accounts to large accounts, I'm here, I'm helping, and you know, publicly trading in World Series of Trading, netting 30% account gains, right? We are the real deal at Chart Champions, live trading, real results. You know, hopefully this is inspiring to you. And it just goes to show that truly, 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 right? If you listen carefully, if you listen carefully, even if you don't have a good idea of what you're doing, right? The predictions, the trades, the management, like everything starts to come together, click. Those little pieces of the puzzles, you know, slowly but surely, right? You get the overall puzzle, right? Just to use this as a bit of a metaphor, right? You have the overall puzzle, right? But it's all scattered. You know, you need to learn order flow. You know, you need to learn TPO. You need to learn about these CME gaps. You need to, you know, learn how to correctly make these informed decisions, right? What warrants a buy, what warrants a sell, what makes you, you know, hold back at a level, what makes you go aggressive at a level, how much leverage do you, all lots of different moving parts, right? We haven't even started on Elliott waves. You get the idea, there's lots of different parts, but as you slowly start to learn each part, that piece of the puzzle where everything at first is just like, well, this is so confusing, you start to learn, you start to put in the time, and slowly but surely it truly does make sense until you reach the level of completing the picture, theory completed, experience gained, and then you can truly start to make these very, very, very impressive gains. And look at this, we are about to see another new high. So, I will end by just saying, oh, she didn't shake. We're about to make a new. I will end by saying this as a, let's say, a word of wisdom from myself in terms of trading, right? I am a trader that will always be looking for a long and a short trade. I'm also a trader that will happily have a bullish play and a bearish play. Like right down here, I'm happy to see the market dump and full retrace. I'm happy to see it come to support and long. All right, I do not know which scenario will play out. Thus, all I can do at this point in time, right, is prepare and plan. I know if and when we come down to that level, I am prepared for a long at support with a bullish reaction, or I'm prepared to just sit back. I will not be looking for a short down here, that I can tell you, because the only way I will get into a short is off of a new high. If we just dump it down from here, I have no short trade at all, and I'm very exposed. Thus, of course, I'm really pushing towards a new high here. Anyway, right, that's what I got to do as a trader. I got to make those plans. I got to be prepared for these different trade scenarios and understand that I'm only going to be looking to take the very best trades. And again, this was the World Series of Trading account. You did not see me shorting. No, I got into my nice long, play the charts very nicely. Yesterday we got a retrace. Well, the only thing I was doing was looking for that long. And so, whether it's the lower term timeframes here as a bit of a scalp trade, as it's the higher term timeframes here as the swing trades, right? You just need to know when and where to take longs, when and where to take shorts. And I think I've talked you through enough in this, quick little YouTube video where I have interest in my next shorts. If we get the reclaims, why I do believe we will, of course, get a continuation to the upside, and where we still have very strong support for if we should pull back first. Any final words? It will be this. All right, right now, I have no short trades. I am very bullish. I am looking for higher. We absolutely could do this, come up, move higher, and then get a massive retrace. And then somebody will say, well, Daniel, you were so bullish, you were looking for higher. And now you're making a video saying you're in shorts and the bear market's back on. Well, my friends, you have to understand, I am bullish, I am in longs, but if we come up higher, we hit price targets, and then we start to retrace, right? I will be in my short should we get that bearish reaction. So do not be surprised at that. But, at the moment, of course, there's no reason to be bearish. I'm not in any short trades and I am looking for higher. So just wanted to add that on at the end here. Yeah, this was just a very quick video. I hope you've enjoyed. Again, if you want to see more from me and the rest of the team, you can get that over at Chart Champions. We have live trading, so you can, for example, right now, Severin live trading, he's already up $1.7 thousand. This guy is a trading machine. And then, of course, Eeyore as well, like the team at Chart Champions, and of course, all the background people that you don't even see so much. But everyone, we really have your full interests at heart, and we're just here, truly doing the best we can and providing a very professional and helpful service for you. So if you want that, check us out at chartchampions.com. I remind you, for the Blowfin new partnership that we have, and we're doing the $100,000 trading giveaway. So if you would like to be involved in this, sign up for a free account. Again, worldwide availability, no KYC, thumbs up from me. I'm also enjoying the exchange. Other than that, nothing else to say, anybody. I'm just going to end. Thank you ever so much. I hope you've enjoyed, and that's me signing out. Cheers. Thank you, and goodbye.